happening, everybody, and welcome to another week of Family Chats, where sports brings the family together. My name's Freddy Rivera. I'm the dad and the uncle in this house. Got my boy Giovanni here. To my left, your right. Say what's up, Joe.
What's up, everybody? What's up, Facebook? What's up, YouTube? What's up, SoundCloud? What's up, everybody that we're going to post this on? Instagram, maybe. Back again.
We're back. Hey, you guys are part of this Family Chats. That's why we call it Family Chats. Not because we're family just here, but we consider you guys family for joining. Thank you for joining. Our nephew Angel, he's in New Jersey. He had a special trying out for some baseball teams out there, some scouts that are out there watching. He's done well. He's updated us and said had some Oakland A's scout calling him and some independent league coaches talking to him. So it's been fantastic. We're praying and hoping that everything goes well and that the opportunity comes because he deserves. He's working hard. He might tune in. He was tuning in live here in a minute, so we'll bring him in from New Jersey when he gets a chance. But another week of
First
sports.
Monday episode.
Yeah, sorry we couldn't join in yesterday. Obviously with Easter, we knew people were spending time with the family. We were as well, and we just thought let's push it to Monday in front of the NCAA championship that's happening here in about 2 hours. What do you guys think? We'll talk about LeBron. We'll talk about the Heat. We'll talk about
The Heat.
We'll talk about Houston. Yeah, we'll talk about the Heat because they're gonna make the playoffs. We'll talk about Houston, Golden State. We'll talk about Toronto. We'll talk about all basketball because it's closer to the playoffs. We'll talk about MVP. LeBron, Harden. Who else would be in that MVP category? Anybody? So we'll talk LeBron, Harden. Those are the top two. But let's get started. Who do you guys like? Do you guys like Villanova? Do you like Michigan? Michigan, as you stated, first team ever to make it to the finals without playing the top five.
I'm pretty sure it's top five.
Top five team. Which most people would say was an easy road for Michigan, where Villanova just took out Kansas, which was obviously one of the top teams in the country.
Kansas took out Duke.
Yeah, Kansas took out Duke, and we kind of like how Villanova looked. They were phenomenal against Kansas. That was one of the best shooting, just the shooting games I've ever seen a team in college.
18 out of 40.
From point guard, shooting guard, forward to center, everybody was making threes. And it was amazing. Kansas couldn't do anything. Every time they made a little run, forget it. You know, Villanova made 1 or 2 threes in a row. So even when Villanova doesn't make threes, like the game against, I believe it was Mississippi State, they still find a way to win, man. I like Villanova. They've been there. The coach has been there. They're experienced. And they're playing with some incredible confidence right now. So I love Villanova. What do you think?
Villanova is going to beat Michigan so bad, it's not even going to be close. I'm telling y'all right now, it's going to be probably a 20, 30-point game. Like,
You think that bad?
I think it's going to be pretty bad. Like, one of the worst ever, I think. It's not going to be a fun game to watch.
Well, that's what Harry Slater from Philly, my boy Harry, believes too. He's hoping that it's a runaway. He says he can't take it being a close game. But, you know, let me think. Everything Philly's on a roll here lately. Let me tell you. You got the Eagles, you got Villanova, you got the Phillies that are starting to pick it up. You got the Sixers playing very well and exciting. Philadelphia is an up and coming, one of the top cities right now in sports, man, and it's an exciting time to be a Philadelphia fan. So, what do you guys think? Villanova, Michigan? Let us know. I know Harry. I know your pick.
I mean, Michigan, they're playing well, but just they haven't faced anybody of the kind of team that Villanova is.
Yeah, no, it's true, man. I'll tell you, Villanova, everybody can shoot. It was really amazing. I mean, I watched that game. They came out and they jumped. I mean, Kansas scored the first 2 points, and I think Villanova made like 3 or 4 threes in a row. It was like 12-2 in like 4 minutes. And Villanova never looked back. And they just kept making threes and making threes. It was like, wow. You thought eventually they would stop making them, but they didn't. They made a record 18. And matter of fact, they broke a record for most threes in the season for college. They broke the record of threes in the season. They broke threes record in the championship game. Just shooting lights on. If they shoot like that, this game ain't going to be close tonight.
I don't think so. Even if they don't shoot the same, I still think they're just a better team.
You're right. Timmy Simpson from Orlando, he says it's hard to shoot like that every game. It's true. It is hard to shoot like that every game. It's amazing to have that many guys shooting through. I think they had like 7 or 8 guys make a three, which is an amazing task in itself. It wasn't like one guy that just got on fire. Everybody was making them. So it's true. Kansas, I mean, they were a great team. They took out Duke. They played great against Duke. They
were a
just didn't have an answer.
I mean, they played like a number 1 seed. It's just
And they stayed up with. I mean, once they got down 15 points, Kansas played very well. The rest of the game, they kept it right around that. But the fact that they got down so bad early, they just couldn't find a way back.
yeah. I don't think Michigan is going to have a chance in this game.
John Merkler says he thinks Golden State's going to draft Villanova in the first round. Yeah, they almost look like Golden State. That's true. Everybody's making threes. Jude, what's happening, man? Thanks for joining. I got your text, man. I'll text you back just so you know. Well, thanks for joining. But you're joining Family Chats, man, where we're talking sports, keeping the family together. We're talking about the NCAA championship game that's starting soon. We're going to be talking LeBron and Harden. Who do you think is your MVP? We'll talk a little bit baseball as the season has started. Anything else fun? The Masters is next week. We'll have fun with that next week with Tiger. Hopefully he'll make a run with the Masters. But again, NCAA, what do you guys think? Michigan, Villanova?
I mean, we guessed last week, and all of us said Villanova. I mean, and what they did to Kansas was just embarrassing. Angel said Loyola would be in the finals. They're obviously not. Angel was wrong. They were winning though
They were winning
the whole game, and I mean
at the end of the game, Michigan they put on a run, put on some defense, and Loyola got cold. So
that white guy. What's that white guy's name from Michigan? That's
man, he had a great game. What was it? What did he have? He had 30. He had 30 points, 15 rebounds. He's one of like 3 players to ever do that, so it's pretty impressive. If he does that again, he'll keep Michigan close. But I still think, Villanova's defense and their athleticism. Michigan's not. I don't see Michigan holding on because I don't think that big guy can compete with Villanova's big guys. They're just athletic and they'll be able to defend him. I don't think anybody in Loyola had anyone to defend him. Villanova's got some players that can defend. Let me bring on our boy Angel Garcet from New Jersey.
That's
true. Timmy Simpson says is how teams respond to runs, right? If Villanova goes on a run, how do the team respond is critical. So,
Angel, what you got to say about the?
Angel, thanks for joining us from New Jersey. We're talking Villanova, Michigan. You said Loyola Marymount was going to be in the finals. They did not make your prediction any better. But what do you think about tonight's game?
Well, I did have Villanova still winning the whole thing, even with Loyola, Chicago making it to the championship. Even though they did it, they lost to Michigan, and Michigan was a very good team. But I still got Villanova winning. I think they have the most beat overall team. They got the most big guys on their team. But Michigan doesn't have any sleep on either. So, but I did say Villanova was going to win. But Michigan, the only reason I'm saying Villanova because Michigan is 1-5 in their last 6 trips to the national championship game. And Villanova won 2 years ago, so I think they're the favorites to win right now.
Yeah, we agree with you. We don't think it's going to be a close game. Obviously, we think it's going to be a blowout. And if Villanova plays the way that they did against Kansas, it's going to be lights out. But let's move on. We're going to move on because there's more exciting topics to talk about. Let's go into the NBA. The NBA is hot. It's getting close to the playoff season. The Sixers have won like 10 games in a row and making a run. What do you see them making any runs in the playoffs?
Depends on who they play. I mean, because if they end up, because I'm pretty sure they have the 4th seed right now, so they'll probably end up having to play the Pacers. So I think they will probably win the first round, but having to play either LeBron James or the Raptors or the Celtics, it's not. They definitely have a chance, but I could see them beating a team like the Raptors or maybe even the Celtics if Kyrie Irving isn't healthy. But other than that, he's not beating LeBron. Nobody in the
That's
East
true.
is beating
That's
LeBron.
what Embiid said, or what Harry Slater says. He thinks it depends on if they get Embiid back. It's true. If Embiid
He'll
comes
be
back
back.
healthy, they'll put on a great run. If they don't, it'll be tough for them to compete. What do you think, Ames?
Embiid is the biggest key for the Sixers right now. Without him, they're not winning. I wouldn't even see them maybe not even winning the first round without Embiid. He's that big to them, centerpiece to them. Fultz coming back this late in the season helps them out big time. I think he's going to be a great contributor to that team. Ben Simmons is also another player. I think right now Ben Simmons is in for the Sixers over Embiid.
Oh yeah.
Like we said, he's almost like a young LeBron right now, with averaging all these triple doubles for a rookie. He will be the rookie of the year in the East. So right now, if Embiid's back, they will win the first round, maybe the second, but they won't get far without Embiid at all.
Yeah, we agree with you there. But they are playing well. I mean, they've won 10 in a row. They are a half game behind Cleveland for the third spot. Indiana's playing well. Indiana's won 5 in a row, and they're 1 full game behind Cleveland. So Cleveland can end up number 5. This is that
Wouldn't
close.
matter.
3, 4, and 5 right now. Cleveland, right, has a half game lead on Philly and 1 game lead on Indiana. But all that can switch, and it won't matter in the first round, but it will matter as you get to the second round and on.
It won't matter.
He obviously believes, and we've said a long time ago, we thought that Cleveland, once they get to the playoffs, LeBron will get serious and maybe carry them. But do you guys still believe that? Because they've been so inconsistent. Even with these new guys, they were very hot in the beginning, then they got cold, now they're hot again. Which Cleveland team will we see? And the coach is coming back. I thought they fired the coach. I thought the coach wasn't coming back at all. He might be back.
If the coach comes back, they'll be. No, I'm just kidding. No, they'll be all right. We're gonna see the Cleveland team that we know. LeBron James is just gonna be the LeBron James of the playoffs. It's not gonna be fun to watch if you're a Sixers or Indiana or a Miami or Milwaukee or Boston or Toronto fan, because he's just gonna go off like he normally does in the playoffs.
Yeah,
So-
LeBron can get back. He's going to get back to another finals. That good. And he's been playing.
And I think he's gonna win another finals this year.
The last couple games he's been playing amazing. The
Yeah.
only way I see LeBron winning, he's not going to win against Golden State. Let's just say it like that. He won't win against Golden State. That team is too stiff
Does he have it?
for him.
Does he have your
4 All-Stars on that team.
your connection is coming in and out, Ainge, so double check your connection real quick for us, just because you're coming in and out either way. But either way, we get what you're saying. We don't think Golden State, or you don't think LeBron can't beat a healthy Golden State. I agree with you. I think it's just too much to overcome without a Kyrie Irving. Now, but how do you feel about Houston? If it was a Houston, Cleveland Finals, which it can become, because Golden State, obviously, they're not healthy right now. What do you think? You still think that?
I like Cleveland. I like Cleveland just because LeBron James is on another level this year. And I think putting him in the playoffs puts him at another level that we haven't seen. So just seeing that the level he's on this year in the regular season, and then adding to that with the playoffs, I think he has a good chance of beating anybody this postseason.
He has a great record in the Eastern playoffs, but once it comes to the finals, his record kind of goes away. So, again, it says a lot about the competition in the East over the years. And when he gets to the finals, he plays one of these tough West teams. It's a different level of competition. If Cleveland was in the West, would he be in this many finals consistently? I don't know.
LeBron James doesn't have to take PEDs. He is.
If LeBron
Go ahead,
If
Ames.
LeBron doesn't have to face Golden State, and he faces the Rockets, even though they have the best record in the league right now, LeBron will win another NBA championship against James Harden and the Rockets. But if it's Golden State, 6 next to that loss because he ain't beating Golden State. The
He
only
could
team
beat
that has a
Golden
chance to
State.
beat Golden final is Boston. I
Boston.
think if Boston has a healthy Kyrie, because they're still winning games without Kyrie Irving.
They are.
Let's
They're
just
playing
say it
well.
like that.
No, LeBron's going to
It's true.
wipe the floor.
You're right. They won 6 games in a row, Celtics, without Kyrie. So the coach is doing something right over there. You love what the coach is making a difference in Boston. Unlike what you were saying in Cleveland.
If Gordon Hayward would have never got hurt either in the first game, Boston would have been
That's true.
probably win the NBA championship.
MVP. Let's talk MVP. Harden, LeBron. Joe, he didn't say this a couple weeks ago. You know, all of a sudden now,
No,
LeBron's gone
I've
on
said
this-
the same thing all year.
LeBron's
That
gone on
Harden
this
is
run.
going to win, but LeBron James, in all seriousness, should probably win. Like, just because of the season he's had and the stats that he's putting up.
he's putting up great stats.
I
but
mean,
so is Harden.
Not as good as LeBron. He has more points per game.
Who has more points per game?
Harden, that's it.
Right.
That's the only stat he's
But
winning.
Harden has a point guard. LeBron is the guard. LeBron is the one bringing the ball. He touches the ball more
So LeBron
than
doesn't have a
anybody
point
in the
guard, is
league.
what you're saying.
What I'm saying is LeBron is the guard. That's
So
why they
LeBron
got rid
James
of.
has
That's why they
the
got
point
rid of
guard.
Isaiah Thomas. No, he is the point
So
guard.
LeBron James
What
hasn't-
position is he?
So LeBron James hasn't
What
played
position
with-
is he? He's the point guard.
So
He's the one
LeBron James hasn't had a
distributing.
point guard this year.
He's the distributor. Is he not the
I just
distributor?
wanted to know.
Help me
So is-
understand, guys.
so
He gets
is Harden,
he
so
gets
is
10 assists every
CP3.
game. LeBron brings the ball down. He's the one with the ball. He's the one making the decisions. He's the point guard. He can score. He can shoot. He can pass. He makes the decisions.
Okay.
It's that simple. Was he?
Okay, so Harden
was he
doesn't do
getting?
that?
Was he getting this
So
many?
Harden doesn't
Let me
do
ask
that?
you. Was he getting this many triple doubles when Kyrie was on the team?
No.
No, he wasn't because Kyrie was the point guard. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, so Harden had a lot of triple doubles last year, but
The
now
ball
he's not
goes
getting
through
any because
LeBron.
CP3.
That's correct.
Okay.
But that's what I'm making my point. When these guys touch the ball more, they obviously, because they're so good at driving and getting the double teams, so they're doing a great job of distributing it when they have to. So it's a good job that LeBron's doing, but I think it's taken away from some of the other players because he's got the ball so much.
Who's taking away from the players?
LeBron.
He's doing what?
Where's Kyrie? Where's Isaiah
Who
Thomas?
cares where Kyrie is?
That's
He's
my
a bum.
point.
He's hurt. He's a bum.
Great players have left because LeBron wants the ball in his hands so much. That's why Kyrie left.
What's the question that you're asking?
I don't have a question. I'm just trying to tell you.
What are you answering?
LeBron is not the MVP.
So
this year.
okay, so LeBron's not the MVP because Kyrie Irving isn't playing with him.
But listen,
Because people don't want to play with LeBron. That's why he's not the
let's
MVP.
let's take some comments because it's true. Let's see what our people's got to say out there. All right,
Ridiculous.
it's true, Harry. Harry says Harden has more help. Right up your alley, right? So that's true. There's a better team. Harden should win, John Merkman says. Cleveland has struggled too much. Lots of controversy, too.
Yeah, the award for that is the championship, not the MVP.
The ball goes through LeBron no matter what, which is true. LeBron demands the ball. That's the problem with Cleveland. It's all about LeBron. It's true. It's a team sport. LeBron only knows how to play the game when it goes through him. Harry says, ironically, though, LeBron will pass overshooting many times when he should shoot. And that's become a big problem. That's when he becomes more like Magic Johnson instead of Michael Jordan. And then
Your
John
comments
Merkman
are
says, tremendous
tired.
player, but bigger limitations than people recognize.
Your comments are tired.
I know, but the proof is in the play, right? He gets the teams to the championship. He's a great player. He's one of the greatest of all time. I'm not denying that. I'm no fool. But when you try to say he's the best of all time, he's the greatest of all time, then you got to be over 500 in championship games. When you play like 30 championship games,
He's playing different players in the playoffs than Michael Jordan
that
does.
proves my point right there, what he said. When it gets to the championship games, he's playing better teams, so now he's losing. When he goes through the East, they're weak. It's easy to get to the championship games. Now you're playing better team in the finals, all of a sudden you can't play against the better team. Now all of a sudden you don't become the greatest player because you're playing a better team. Help me understand that.
Your comment
Help
are
me
tired.
understand that.
Michael Jordan
Please
was
help me
playing
understand that.
5'5", white dude, skinnier than
You
me
hear that,
and skinnier
Merkley?
than him. He was playing
Now he's talking.
jokes in the
That's
finals.
a joke.
He
That's
was
a
playing.
joke.
I can prove it.
That's a joke.
I have videos.
That's a joke.
Of Michael Jordan playing toothpicks in the finals.
In the finals. It's a joke.
Who has LeBron James played in
But
the
wait a
finals
second,
that Michael
wait a
Jordan
second.
you could compare?
So
who has LeBron
has
James
he,
seriously
who has
played?
LeBron played going to the finals? That's where Jordan played the tougher teams going to the finals.
Okay,
All
so
the better
just
teams,
like Michael Jordan, he's lost in those games, right?
No,
just
no.
like LeBron James has lost in the finals, Michael Jordan has lost in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yes,
Correct.
Yes, he has.
Okay, so it's the same thing.
But
okay,
listen,
so it's
well,
the same thing.
wait,
so
wait,
why are we
no.
comparing?
Well, let me tell you what. Once Jordan won,
Exactly. Once
see, he don't want to
It's
go
stupid.
here.
It's stupid.
Once Jordan figured out
Because they were
how
old.
to win,
Because they were old.
how to win.
Because they were old.
No, they weren't old.
You figured
They
out how
weren't
to
old.
win.
They weren't old.
You figured out how to win.
No,
you mean
they
when he
weren't.
got a better team?
So Jordan
You mean
beats,
when he got a better
listen
team?
to this, how funny it is. It's back-to-back championships. He plays the Detroit Pistons, who are back-to-back champions. He beats the Pistons in the third year, and now they're old.
LeBron James.
Oh, but they won the
run
championship
over
2 years.
any-
They won the championship 2 years in a row. All of a sudden, they got old the third year. No, that's
LeBron
not it.
James-
Sorry, son. That's not it. That's just not how it works. That's like saying, oh, LeBron was playing Golden State, then he beat the Golden State. Oh, they got old. That's why LeBron won, because Golden State got old. I'm sorry. That was
James
not it.
would have won 10 championships in Michael Jordan's
Listen,
era.
MJ has played much tougher defenses. You laugh about defenses.
I don't know.
The defenses were tougher back then.
I don't know.
Absolutely true.
I don't know.
Absolutely
I
true.
don't know. LeBron has played some freakish athletes that Michael
Look at
Jordan
John
never had to
Merkley.
play.
Here's what John Merkley said. The league is much softer now. For all those additional muscles, you can't even breathe on someone without calling a foul.
Listen.
You can't touch him. There was no hand checking. In Michael Jordan's era, you can hand check. Absolutely. You can hand check.
Well, when the
That
dude's
was part of it.
110 pounds touching
No,
Michael
sorry.
Jordan, it's
Sorry.
it doesn't.
It was much tougher league back then. The guys now are soft. They're shooting more threes than ever. That means what?
No, go ahead. You talk.
Yeah.
You want to
because
let nobody else talk? Go
the
ahead.
NBA was not a bunch of white guys since the 60s, by the way.
I will show you
That's what
who
John
he
Merkley
played.
said.
I will show you.
He
videos
saw.
who he played in the
Here's
finals.
what he's talking about.
The Jazz, the Bucks.
Angel,
all
give
those
us
teams.
your opinion. I'm gonna stop. I'll let you say something, because I know you're a LeBron fan too, because you guys are young. But talk to us.
Alright. LeBron should be in the category. Alright, I know we're talking about Jordan and
We should be talking about the MVP, which is what he said, but then he's
Go ahead, talk
all this
about
other stuff.
tell us your MVP conversation. Would you stop lying? Go.
James Harden is going to win the MVP. It's just gonna happen because his team is the best. And they're the top right now of the Warriors, which hasn't happened in the last 2-3 years that we've seen. So he's gonna win the MVP. Harden doesn't have better numbers than LeBron, which I think should be
He
why
wants
LeBron
attention.
should be considered the MVP also. But I don't think LeBron James is that far behind James Harden, so I'm not saying, oh, LeBron's not the MVP. He's had 17 triple doubles this year, which is probably like the most in his career that we've probably seen out of LeBron.
Listen.
As of right now, James Harden, what?
No, go ahead.
As of right now, James Harden's going to win the MVP just because of how good the Rockets have done. They're in first place. They have the best record in the NBA. And it's just like we've seen, he's scoring the most points, averaging the most points in the NBA already. But LeBron isn't far behind with it.
He's not.
For me, I would give my vote to LeBron just because of how dominant he has been on a sorry team that we haven't seen. This is probably the sorriest team we've seen LeBron in 10 years.
No doubt.
The sorriest in 10 years.
Yes.
10 years.
When he was
Probably.
when he was on Miami, obviously he had Dwayne Wade
And Chris Bosh.
Dwayne Wade and
Chris Bosh and Ray Allen.
for 3-4 years.
Ray Allen was garbage
got
on the
dunked
team.
to Hall of Fame.
He said Ray Allen was garbage, but Ray Allen's a Hall of Famer. Ray
He
Allen
was garbage on that
won the
team.
championship against the Spurs if it
Because-
wasn't for Ray Allen.
because
But
he
Ray
hit-
Allen was
Because
garbage.
he hit a three. This is different. He wasn't.
Man, you
he
need to
wasn't the player.
go.
He wasn't the player. He was on the
Come
Celtics.
on. Of course not. He was a little older, but he was still making threes.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. He wasn't the player. He was on the Celtics.
And listen, it's true, Angel. Your point is well taken. John Merklin's point: LeBron could win the MVP just about any year he plays, no doubt, right? And I agree. But he is not having an MVP season this season.
Woo! What are you talking about, bro? Are you
That's
serious?
That's what Berkeley said.
You're saying he's not having an MVP type season.
Talk to John.
You're saying he's not having an MVP type
That's what he
season.
said.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
They ever had. Even in his MVP
He's averaging like 27.9 points per game, and he has like almost 10 assists and almost 10 rebounds.
Statistically,
but it's not an MVP.
Statistically, he's
That's
having a great
garbage.
year.
And when I'm
Now-
saying that it was a bunch of white guys, is I'm saying that the typical guard back in those days was different from the typical guard now in these days, where they're freakish athletes. Back in those days, they were not freakish athletes. The only one was Michael Jordan, probably.
But the biggest problem you have now about freakish athletes is they're more offensive mindset in this era. They're not defensively mindset. The mindset isn't to be a great defender.
When you're
the
a
mindset
freakish
is to be a
athlete,
good
it's a
shooter and a great
challenge.
offensive player.
When you're a
No.
freakish athlete, it's a different
Of
challenge
course
for
not.
nowadays.
Of course not. It
From
depends on
back then.
who's defending you. Now LeBron, let me get you. LeBron is hard to defend no matter what. He'd have been hard to defend back then, just because he's just a beast. So it's true. He's one of the just a freak in terms of his size. So can't take that away. Even if LeBron played in that era, he would have dominated because he's so big and so strong. So I would never say, oh, he can't compete in that time with the time eras. But when I bring Jordan to this era, he would have been just as good. And I say he would have dominated that era too, or this era, because of how soft the defenses are. And he would have just scored. He would have scored more. He would have averaged probably 40 points a game in this era.
When you think of
Maybe not.
when you think of this era, you think of the 3-point. You think of the 3-point shot.
Yeah.
It's just how it is now.
Yeah, the game's changed.
But when you have 7'3" centers like DeMarcus Cousins or Zingas, who is a power forward, but he can play the center position because he's so tall. When you got Anthony Davis, when these guys are averaging 28 points, 12 rebounds, and they're still getting 5-6 assists with 2 or 3 3-pointers made, the whole game is just changed.
It's changed.
Guard.
It's true.
A 7-foot center. But back then, a center was like Shaquille O'Neal. He was getting rebounds,
Yeah.
he was dunking the ball.
7'2", 7
Now,
foot, dunking.
It almost seems like everybody nowadays is an all-around player. So when you're guarding everybody who's an all-around player, like Kevin Durant or DeMarcus Cousins, Anthony Davis, those are hard to guard.
Yeah,
So,
no, it's true. It's true, but you know what would have happened back then? If Shaq played in this era, Shaq would still dominate. No one would be able to guard Shaq, and Shaq would have been Shaq would have been able to guard any of those big guys because Shaq was a freak of nature too. Now you had Akeem Olajuwon. Akeem Olajuwon was one of the best centers ever. There was not a center back then or now that would be able to guard Akeem Olajuwon in his offensive moves. And Patrick Ewing. Nobody would have been able to guard him in this era. And Ewing wouldn't have been out shooting threes, but if Ewing played in this era, he would have learned how to shoot threes because Ewing actually became a good jump shooter and started to hit that mid-range jump shot. So you learn, you're right, the game has changed where now big guys are growing up, learning how to shoot and learning how to dribble more, right? Learning how to, take the ball and dribble. Harry says Shaq was trash. Shaq was so strong that all you need to do is get him the ball in the paint, and he would have just dunked over anybody. He was so strong. It's true. Shaq wouldn't have been able to out dribble anybody or out move them, but he would just dunked over anybody. He was just freak.
Ray Allen on the Heat averaged 10 points per game
Why is that?
because he was a low.
How many superstars were on the Heat? 3.
Okay, so what I'm saying is
Ray
that
Allen
he
was
wasn't
the
as good
4th.
as he was on
No.
the Celtics.
The reason why Ray Allen
He was
averaged
the
10
4th
points.
best player?
Who else was who was better than Ray Allen
Bro.
after those 3
Are you
players?
for real?
Yeah, who else was on that team?
Marcus did play very well with the Heat.
Who?
when they won champions.
Who did you say?
Chalmers.
Oh, Chalmers.
He
Man.
did play very well. He was a point guard.
Yeah,
played very well.
he played okay, but he wasn't better than that. Allen obviously was there just to shoot threes, right? To take the defenses away when people double teamed, LeBron and Wade. Allen was there to hit those
All he
threes,
did
and
was
he did a
shoot.
great job.
That's
Yeah,
it.
that's what he was there for, though.
He was the
and that's
fourth
what
biggest name,
But
probably.
he did that even in his great days. He wasn't an all-around player. His job was to hit threes, and he averaged more than 20 points even in his prime. Not taking it to the hole, it was more shooting threes.
In his prime, he did.
So he did his job very well. with the Heat, and he did exactly what the Heat needed him to do, was to make threes and make big threes sometimes when they needed it. So played very well for the role they wanted him to play at, and even at that age. But our conversation on the MVP, and obviously we'll see who wins it. We do believe, we thought a few
You still
weeks
haven't
ago.
even let me talk.
But go ahead. You talk about why LeBron over Harden right now at this stage. Because I don't think a few weeks ago you still thought Harden was the MVP.
I still think Harden's going to win it. Do I think he should win it? No, I don't think he should win it. I think LeBron should win it.
Well, make your case.
Well, first off, just look at the stats, all
Okay.
right? Harden leads in points per game. That's it. And then LeBron leads in just about every other category, other than probably three-pointers made or some.
But how close is it? It's not like it's like.
It's like 3 points.
No, I'm saying how close is the. All right, so
I
if
mean-
LeBron has 10 rebounds, Harden's averages 7. If LeBron's averaging 8 assists, Harden has 6. It's not far off. You're not talking about he's dominating.
I mean,
in every
Harden averages
stat.
like 8 assists, but LeBron
That's what I
averages
mean.
almost 10.
Right, that's
And
that's my
then-
point. That those other stats are still very close.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that you look at the overall player and the triple doubles, which the person who won the MVP last year won because of he averaged
Because he
triple
averaged triple
double.
double every game. That's
Oh,
never been done
he's
before.
almost- he's almost
well,
done
it's
it
done
again.
one time.
He's almost done it again
He's
this year.
almost doing it
So
again.
should he win the
It's
MVP
true.
again?
He's up there.
No, he's not.
Why not?
Because he doesn't average triple
But tell us
double.
why. But you're saying he's almost averaging a triple
Because his
double.
points went down.
But why
He's not
shouldn't he
scoring
be in
the
the
same.
MVP conversation? Because you're talking LeBron's triple doubles. You got another guy that's almost averaging a triple double. His team isn't winning like LeBron's. They're both saying fourth, third in this conference. So why isn't he in this conversation like LeBron?
Because Russell Westbrook averages like 25 points per game, and LeBron is averaging like 28 points per game.
For those, quick pause. For those that just joined, hi to you. You're joining Family Chats, where sports brings the family together. My name is Freddy Rivera. Got my son Giovanni Rivera here. Got my nephew Angel Garcetta in New Jersey, who's usually here. But this is where we talk sports. We have a lot of fun. Interactive with our family out there that obviously joins in on a week-to-week basis. Hit the share button. Let's talk. And you always wonder what we talked about, huh, Tia? That's what we talk about, sports. Just, if you like basketball, you like LeBron, baseball, golf, we're talking about it. So having fun doing it, and thanks for just peeking in and tuning in. But that's what we're talking about, and having a conversation about MVP right now with LeBron and Harden neck and neck, according to my young son and nephew here who are big LeBron fans. But go ahead, Angel, what were you about to say about it?
Regarding Westbrook, the reason I wouldn't put him in this year is because, like Giovanni said, he's not as close to averaging triple double like LeBron. His points are dramatically down this year. After last year averaging 30 plus a game, obviously now he has more superstars like Paul George and Carmelo Anthony, which is the reason why he is averaging less points. Because if they weren't on the team, he'd probably be the MVP again. If we were being honest. But it's the same thing like with Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is almost averaging a triple double, but he's not in the MVP race because he's averaging 7 points a game.
Yeah.
So LeBron's 29. He's not far. This MVP is going to be close. I don't think Harden's got it by a long shot.
Right. Go ahead, Joe. Finish your.
Am I allowed to finish, or do you want to?
Yeah. No, go ahead.
If you want to interrupt me some more with another question that is irrelevant and something that is. Listen,
Go ahead.
LeBron James should be the MVP.
Get to the point, man.
LeBron James should be the MVP. He wants to ask me a question. He wants to get to the point. He wants to ask me a question. Why shouldn't Russell Westbrook be the MVP then? The point is, LeBron James should be the MVP. Look at the stats. He's beating him in every stat except points per game. All right. So what is the MVP? What does it mean to you guys? Is Harden really the most valuable player? If you put Harden on any team in the league, will he succeed with the team as much as he is doing with the Rockets this year? Would he make that team better? Would he make any team in the league better? Like, up to the status that you think probably the Cavs are? Like, if you put him on the Suns, you think the Suns will be good?
So they would be a lot better, and his stats would be better. he would have more points per game. He'd have probably more average,
Yeah,
more
more points
assists.
per game.
He'd have more points per game. You know why? Because as you said with
No,
LeBron, the reason LeBron is scoring so much is because he doesn't have a good team. So he's forced to score more. If Harden goes on a worse team, guess what happens? He's forced to score more. He's forced to do more. It's exactly, you just made the point. It's true. It's exactly true. That's why LeBron's in the MVP conversation. What did you say about Westbrook, Angel? Westbrook is not scoring as many points because he now has two other superstars that are taking away those points. If you remove them, guess who's scoring more points? Westbrook, because he's forced to. So it is true when you don't have a team that can score, as the leader and as the scorer, you're going to score more because you're forced to take more shots because you know you have to. So if Harden went to the Phoenix Suns, he would average more points per game. That's true. And so,
let me ask this question. Let's forget about Harden going to the Suns, because if he went to the Suns, they'd still be terrible. But they'd probably be in the playoffs. It's hard to protect them. But if the Rockets were not in first right now, and Golden State was healthy and they were in first place, or even if the Rockets were in third place, like LeBron is in the East, would we still be considering Harden the MVP of the season of this league? We're saying that he's going to win the MVP because his team's the best in the league. But would he be the MVP if his team was second or third?
no, it's true. I think that if he was in second behind Golden State, he would still be in the lead. Now, if he was third, I don't know if he would.
Why?
He would.
Why?
Because
What does that matter to the MVP conversation?
it's unbelievable how all of a sudden winning doesn't matter. When does
It
winning
didn't matter
not
last year. It didn't matter last year.
It matters.
It
It
does.
matters. Because,
it mattered last year.
Because if you take Westbrook from Oklahoma Thunder, they
So
don't
this
even make the
year-
playoffs. So winning does matter.
So this year it matters, but last year it didn't.
It matters. Even last year mattered.
They were 8th place in the West.
Do they
Does it
do
matter?
they make the playoffs?
Doesn't matter.
It matters.
So if they don't make the playoffs, it doesn't matter anymore.
If he didn't make the playoffs last year, he does not win the MVP.
Bro, what you're saying is like terrible. Like
Well,
you don't understand. You make no
The
sense.
reason,
It
why,
makes- so
why
it matters
tell me
this
again,
year.
why did Westbrook
So
win
because-
the MVP last year?
Because he averaged a triple double.
And when's that?
You know why?
And when's that ever been done before?
Guess what?
And when's
because
that
his
ever happened?
stats were the best.
Okay.
You know what that means?
And-
he was the most valuable player.
So winning doesn't matter.
No, it shouldn't because it's not in the cat. It's not in the name.
This is why. This
The
is
most
why.
winningest
Wait a
player.
second.
Is that-
This is
is
why
that the-
this generation is delusional. Because all of a sudden, if you don't win, you still deserve a trophy. Because
What?
if you're participating,
He was
and
the best player.
you deserve a trophy for participating.
He
Let
was
me
the
give
best
everybody
player.
a trophy. Winning doesn't matter anymore. Because if you're the best player, that's the problem.
MVP has always been
Winning matters. Now, it's not the only thing. Stats obviously matter, but if you're winning and you're having good stats, of course, now you're the reason why you're in the MVP conversation. Because not only are your stats carrying your team, but you're winning.
So why?
The reason why
did it matter last year?
LeBron is not winning the MVP this year is because he and his team has been inconsistent all year. If he had
Guarantee
been
you
winning,
that's not the reason.
oh, it's the reason.
I guarantee you,
It's the reason. If his team was more consistent winning, it is true.
Oh my God.
They win 5 games in a row, they lose 6 games in a row. They win 10 games in a row, they lose 7 games in a
So
row.
let's rename
They're
the
inconsistent.
award. So let's rename the award. The most valuable player on the best team. Let's name it that.
That's not the way it happens every year.
Because it doesn't matter the way you think it matters.
Winning matters. Then why is Harden the MVP, the lead of the MVP right now?
Because he has the most points per game.
No,
and
that
his
absolutely
stats are
not.
keeping
No,
up with LeBron's.
absolutely not.
So,
It's not just because
What?
he's leading the scoring.
because you're going to let me finish. You're going to interrupt me just like you do every time I talk. You want to let me finish what I'm saying?
Go
or
ahead.
No?
Go ahead.
Because he has the most points per game, almost 3 more than LeBron, and his stats are keeping up with LeBron's on the other ones.
Yes. Now there's some people that do agree with you. Harry likes your question. He says you got a good question. Who's more valuable player this year? What player would make a bigger impact as a value to another team? Again,
LeBron would make any team the best team.
absolutely. That's why he's in the MVP conversation right now.
Oh my God. What are you...
But you're right. We're agreeing with you.
I know what you're saying, but like,
It
I don't
does
think
matter.
it matters when when it comes down to wins. I don't
Because
think wins matter as much as you think they
here's what
will.
we're saying. If you got a guy who averages a triple-double, say like Westbrook, and they're last place in the league, do you think he wins the MVP?
If his stats are
If he has the same
If he
year
has
he
the
had
best,
last year,
then
if he had
yes.
the same year he had last year,
then yes.
and he does not, his team doesn't even make the playoffs.
Then yes, because you cannot.
Where was
hurt,
LeBron last
You
year?
cannot hurt somebody's statistics because the rest of the team is bad. Then yes, then that's what I'm saying. The rest of the team should not affect you if you win MVP or not. It's not a team award.
Most valuable player also has to
It's
do with
not a
if you're
team
making
award.
Are you making
It's not
you're
a
the most
team
valuable player
award.
of your team.
It's not a team award. It's a player award. It's a
Then
single
you're the
player
you're the
award.
best player in the league.
That's
No.
what the MVP. That's pretty sure what's the MVP.
No.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
LeBron is the most valuable problem in the league this year.
How? For other teams? or
Look
what?
at what's happening. Look at what's happening in Cleveland. And you tell me that he's not a problem?
He's not.
First,
a problem.
Kyrie leaves the team before the year starts. Why? Why would Kyrie leave a championship team? Please explain that to me. That still makes no sense to me. The problem is he couldn't get along with LeBron. LeBron then has Isaiah Thomas comes into the year. Nothing changes. The team is still a great team. They're still a championship team. We talked about them going to the finals this year. Let's not talk about, oh, they're a terrible team. They have no players. No, let's talk about earlier on this year. We said Cleveland can win the championship with that team. We were talking about that. We said that. Did we not
I
say
bet it
that?
seems like a huge problem. Every problem LeBron has, it seems like a huge problem, right? Why? Why? Because everybody focuses on LeBron.
If
you know
he-
why? Because he's the best
what?
player in the world.
If he
you want to know why?
wins-
Why don't we talk about the Raptors, or why don't we talk about the Celtics, or why don't we talk about the Indiana Pacers who had a great year? Why don't we talk about them as much? Why
Man,
are their
that's
problems as big as
interesting.
LeBron's problems? Why? Tell
Because-
me why.
because
Tell me
LeBron-
why.
LeBron will-
Because LeBron is the best player in the world, and everybody talks about him
Yes,
every
he
week,
is.
just like we do every
He
week.
is.
We talk about it every week. So that would make it seem like his problem, every single problem. Oh, Isaiah Thomas gets traded away. Oh, boo-hoo. Kyrie Irving doesn't want to play with
LeBron
him.
is the
You
best
think
player.
every problem in the league is LeBron's problem. You think everything with the Cavs is wrong is LeBron's problem.
LeBron
Why?
is a problem.
Why? Because we talk about him every single week.
LeBron is a
We don't talk
problem.
about any other team any other week. Why? Why?
Because
why?
it's
Because
a
we
top-
talk about LeBron
why-
every week.
why do we talk
no
about him
wonder
every
it
week?
seems like a huge problem to you that LeBron is the biggest problem. Why? Because you
See,
talk
look,
about him all the time.
LeBron is the NBA's version of Odell Beckham. He's a wide receiver diva. He's a diva. He's easy to talk
Oh
about.
my God,
He's
it's-
in the spotlight. He focuses on him. Hey, if I'm voting, I would vote for me for MVP. Who says that? No great player ever says that.
Well, they
you know what a
asked-
great player says? Thanks for the question. I'll let you decide that. Right? Thank you for asking the question. I'm going to let you guys, and I'm going to let all of you guys decide that.
I'm
That's
sure-
what a great player says. A great player doesn't say, oh, if I'm voting for me. Yeah, that's the society we have today. It's all about me. Instagram, Facebook, selfies, everybody's about me. No, the greatest players of all time.
Oh
If they
my
asked
God.
Jordan that question, Jordan would have said, I'll let you decide. I'll let my actions on the court decide. You talk about it. I'll play. I'm going to go on the court. I'm going to play. I'll let you guys decide about how I play. That's how Jordan did it.
Bro, you're
LeBron is a diva. He talks about himself. Oh, I'm the greatest.
They
I'm the
asked him a
player.
question.
No, the greatest players humble themselves and say, I'll let you guys decide that. You know why? Because I don't have a vote. So I'm going to let my actions on the court decide that. And guess what? His actions decided that.
Oh my God, you're ridiculous. So because they asked him a question and he answered the way he felt he wanted to answer.
That's fine. He answered it. But guess what happened? He got scrutinized for answering it that way because it came off selfish. It did.
Listen, I'm sure he probably didn't even say it like that. I'm sure the media did their little thing where they took the quote and they moved it really low and it said, I vote for myself. I'm sure he said something else. I haven't seen the whole video. He hasn't seen the whole video. He thinks he knows everything. He thinks he was in the room while LeBron said it. He probably asked LeBron the question, if I'm being honest, who would you vote for in the MVP? Like,
Hey,
obviously
listen,
they're going to ask him
it's
a
the
question.
truth. They're going to
and
ask
he has
him,
confidence in
and
himself.
he
He's
answered
gonna
it
say,
the way they wanted to. So he fell into the trap because that's what the media wanted to. Yeah, answer that. Oh, he answered it now. The media said, look what LeBron. He thinks he's the MVP. Because the pros
Good
would have
for
said,
him.
listen,
Good for him. It's people like you who think it's such a problem to have confidence in yourself. Oh, why do you have confidence in yourself? You should say something stupid about how, oh no, maybe I have to, maybe I should play better and maybe I'll be the MVP. Like, bro, it's ridiculous.
it is ridiculous.
You're ridiculous.
You're
It's people
ridiculous
that's
as
your
a boy.
age. It's people that's your
It's
age.
at our age. Yeah, our
Yeah,
age.
it is.
Yeah,
Who just
because
think that
you,
everything should just
yeah.
stay the same.
Oh,
We
no,
should
no.
still be.
How about being a little bit humble? How about humbling yourself?
He is-
You think he's
you don't
really-
think he's-
you
you don't
think
think
he's
he's humble?
extremely humble.
You don't think
Oh,
he's
yeah.
humble?
Check out the dunk. I love the dunk. You see that dunk I did? I would love to watch that dunk all over.
Who
says
said
that?
Who said it?
LeBron.
When?
Again, I'm the greatest.
Who said
I'm the
that?
greatest. I'm the greatest. He'll say that. Yes, he'll say I'm the greatest. If you're gonna ask me, I'm the greatest.
Who?
Why? Who says that?
Are you putting
LeBron.
words in his mouth?
LeBron said it.
When?
Who would you vote for? If you,
When
I
did
would
he
vote
say
for
it?
me. I would
Yo,
vote.
make sure you guys like it, subscribe, comment below, share the video with your uncle who has the bad breath problem, but he will definitely love the video. So make sure you guys share and keep giving us love and, join the family.